Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here in Foley Square. It's Friday, November 17th, 2023, and we're covering the courts. Now, yesterday, beyond the Julian Assange oral argument that we live tweeted, there was this case of Aviram Azari. He pled guilty. He's a hacker. He's an Israeli hacker that hacked predominantly climate scientists. There was a lot of mention by the three victims of Exxon, but it seems to be a Russian oligarch who may have paid him. But he declined to say who had paid him. And in fact, at the end of this lengthy sentencing, he said, "You don't know the whole story. It will come out one day." Well, we'll see, because we're going to continue to cover it. But it was a surreal proceeding, because you had, on the one hand, the three client scientists. Well, one guy was actually from a foundation that funds client scientists, and they'd been hacked, spearphished, very bad. And then you had him speaking about, he's from Israel, and he has family in Israel, and he had a lawyer that called in by phone talking about October 7th. So it was sort of competing themes, and we wrote a story that you can find on Inner City Press. Behind me, actually, wait a second, behind me at 60, the Trump New York Attorney General case stumbles on, but they made a motion for a mistrial, and kind of in a dismissive fashion, the New York Attorney General people said they want until December 8th, that there's no urgency, it's a bogus motion. We'll see with Judge Engoron how he rules on it. Meanwhile, Judge Engoron's gag order to not speak about him or his principal law deputy has been at least temporarily stayed by the appellate division. So all bets are off. Anything can be said. Today there's a crypto case about Terra that we'll be covering, and there are a number of other ones, including the shooting of a baby in the Bronx. But I digress, because we're going to cover the Federal Reserve for a moment. The Federal Reserve, when they issue an order, and they don't issue that many of them, you expect it to be well thought out, except that there's one this week on Link Bancorp, which they issued in one form, and then they reissued it in a corrected form with a Community Reinvestment Act condition removed. We've inquired into that. We're also inquiring into the United Nations, where we remain banned by Antonio Guterres, the corrupt Secretary General, with his finger in the wind, solving nothing but banning the press to conceal his finances. Inner City Press, to be continued.